Hi. So, from normal to extraordinary, a spiritual awakening. So, the question is it a remembrance or is it a journey of learning? And I do love this journey of learning, but I do question, is it an actual remembrance? And my name's Stephen Bones, by the way, and I work with Shamanic Energy in various different dimensions. But my spiritual awakening began early in 2018, and what was my perspective of a normal life, i.e. going to work, earning a living, looking after, I suppose, myself and my family, didn't really have much to do with the outside of my box. I got my life and my box, and I didn't sort of step back and look out of it and look into a different perspective. So that was my normal life, and then it moved to the extraordinary. So how that happened was I had a shift of a childhood experience that was trapped, and it moved under the guidance of a therapist. And since that moment, that interesting moment, a 2-hour window in my life, it actually changed my perspective. I had a knowing to look deep into what I would now describe as the extraordinary. And if you are still with me and still listening, you have that curiosity. And the people that click off, that's fine, that's their choice. But from normal to extraordinary. So now, interestingly enough, the extraordinary for me becomes the normal, which is fascinating. I began diving deep into this work and working on my childhood experiences that were trapped. They were trapped in time in my system, and you've heard many times about parts work or inner child or soul retrieval work, which I call it, or spirit-led healing, whatever you want to call it. But that's what happened. And as I began working and releasing, I began to notice that I was transforming. And this was a slow, gradual process. And it still is, because I'm a human being and I've still got more work to be done. And my journey took me to working with shamans somewhere in South America and then one in the UK. And I had more of these extraordinary experiences. Some are now part of my everyday life. And this is what many may call a spiritual awakening. And the question is, or is it a remembrance, a connection to a different dimension? And I suppose my extraordinary experiences is why I'm pointing to that question. Because the more I work with the drums that are on the wall behind me, and I work with spirit for direction and advice, I go into other dimensions. And the more I get drawn deeper to understanding shamanic practices and the energy and how spirit allow me to work with them, I also engage with other modalities as well to enhance my understanding. So if another modality comes across my space, I'll just book on it and give it a twirl if it interests me, just to see if it has an effect or what that is about. So if you are on or just beginning a spiritual awakening, maybe even experiencing the extraordinary, my advice is to follow your path, as it does get more exciting and interesting as we pass through this moment of our time in this planet, in this space. So thanks for listening. My name's Stephen Bones. You'll catch me on stephenbones.com, or why don't you click and subscribe and click the bell as well and follow me, because I'd really appreciate it, and it helps others and my algorithms get off the ground so I can connect with more other people with this information. Thanks for listening. See you next time.